come in. Okay, he's a new police crime commissioner. I was about to go, oh, he's got a Black Lives Matter thing up, banner on his Facebook. Oh God, he must be really nice. And I'll go to him for help. Yeah. I think last night I did say that you'd be able to read people. I knew instantly that he is a racist. You know, the white liberals, because I've been brought up in Derby. People from Derby know this. We've been brought up. There's not many black people, but I'm not saying there wasn't racism. Because obviously there were, but I never felt it. Okay, yeah, one or two people were racist incidents in my life, but I never grew up with feeling it. I've grown up with people, white people, that could tell you racism at a drop of a hat, could tell a situation that someone being called nigger, that situation is racist at a drop of a hat. But I've also had friends that are racist as fuck who don't think they're racist, okay? But my experience has been the first one, the former one, okay? That most of the people I grew up with that were white knew what racism was. I could spot a racist smile off, and I'm not racist, and if you used to have an argument with them, their first thought, I've had arguments with white people, not to call you a black bastard or a nigger or anything like that, okay? In Birmingham it's completely different, they're so backwards, so fucking very backwards, my God, man. Yeah, so, yeah, this has opened up a whole new area of that, people who don't think they're racist because they're in Birmingham, and the West Midlands has a reputation of apparently us not being racist. Remember Enoch Powell? If I'd have stayed in Birmingham, that's the area I'd been brought up in, Smethwick. Anyway, moving on. I could tell a racist a mile off. I thought Simon Foster is a little white liberal, and I've sort of worked with people like him before as well. Very white, middle class, liberal males or females that they think they're racist, but they're racist as fuck. He's one of them. Anyway, yeah, because I saw through his plan, they've stacked up everything, because they want me to sort of obviously show up and not go on about it. But no, they're vile. They need outing. These beasts need fucking outing. I'll leave you just one thing. Like I said previously on the post, it's made me more determined and more insular in my thought that all sex offenders and animal abusers need to die from their injuries, especially if they come from the West Midlands, because the West Midlands police, the more severe or serious a sex offender is, and the more likely it is to reoffend, the more they will protect them. Look at my case if anybody doubts what I'm saying. Hear the beast in the background if you doubt what I'm saying. Okay? And it's because of this case, because I even worked in different areas of with sex offenders, but also the victims that have been raped, either as children or as adults. I've had friends that have been raped or sexually assaulted. Okay? It's not sort of thing you think about on a daily basis, okay? These creatures, their biggest turn on, literally the biggest fucking turn on is infant and child rape. That's their thing, that's their go-to. And I've been having 7 years of their fuckery, and I was adamant, even before my family showed up, that these beasts, sex offenders worldwide, need to die from the fucking injuries. Animal abusers need to die from the fucking injuries. Need to be beaten. Never takes several beatings. A few broken bones along the way, all the better. And this is my thoughts of all, especially around these beasts, especially if they live in the West Midlands, because they won't get justice. Sorry to say, they shouldn't be dependent on the sex offender itself, if it's likely to share the same philosophy as Dave Thompson, Hobday, Foster, Jameson, Haley. Okay, in saying that, my family agree with me. See the flashing? Okay, rape at any kind is never, ever be the part of the original humans' evolution. It's just not something that we do. It's not something that we think. And the entities that do that are non-human. I keep saying all these creatures are subhuman. You think I'm being horrible. I'm not. You are literally subhuman. You might see them smiling in paper, making faces, saying all this and that, saying all the correct things, but they're all subhuman. And their plan for the West Midlands is to fuck as many people up, to control as many people as possible, and mainly women. But they've got men involved as well that they talk to, but mainly women, and the mainly black women as well. The very things that they try to fuck them apart is the very thing that's made them stronger. So I'm just going to confirm that my family is still here, they're still flashing at me, and that is my belief. The core of my being, with these creatures fucking carried on, they're all rapists or molesters or sexual molesters or sexual abusers or animal abusers as well. In that, they need to die from their injuries. If you're in the West Midlands and you're watching this and you've got a family member comes to you, remember I used to work at Rape Crisis, okay, in Derby, and I would first want to say, just go to the police, I know it's going to be hard, but go to the police. The way sex offenders, the way victims of sexual abuse, stalking, etc. dealt with in Derby, the way they're dealt with now in the West Midlands is so different. I would say to you, if you've got family members, if you've got a little cottage somewhere out in the country, get the beast and take him there. Don't fucking go to the police. I'm not inciting any violence, because, you know, it might be a nice chat with odd little beasts will do, you know. But if I had family, if I grew up here, if I had family, I would say, listen, fucking take the beast to the country. Don't report him, because these lot have put their arms around them, have weekly meetings with them, make sure they're alright. Anything they need, wouldn't you? Sick bunch of cunts. And my family's still here, and there's another thing that the what's it called, community, UFO community, the New Ways community, big fuck up of. But if anybody's going through shit, it's their own fault, and that's not true at all. I'm going through this because we've got sex offenders at the very top of West Midlands Police, Dudley Council, who's looking out for another sex offender, looking out for racists. And my family are still there, still around me, still flashing. I think they would agree with the punishment for sex offenders in the West Midlands to be beatings, and for them not to die on the first beating, or even the second beating, or even the third beating. But die for receiving a beating nevertheless. Okie dokie. Thank you, family. Oh, okay, yeah. And I was going to watch Intrusion. It's been on Netflix, and I was just going to watch it. So, later. But they've been around today because the beasts have been extra vocal. So thank you, family. And they do really think they are more powerful than UFOs than my family, than higher beings, because the Freemasons are involved in this targeted program as well. It's shocking. Absolutely shocking. Anyway, folks, gonna get those. Thank you, family. Hi, Wayne. Hi, Grandpa. Oh, who did I sound like then? Or what did I sound like? It's a television program. If you have an age, you'll remember. I like the way the wall case fucking copyright. Do something, I don't know. folks, bye. And the next one, like I said to my family before I started filming actually, I'm going to talk more about the different species on Earth. I want to get this out of the way. I didn't think I was going to do this, but I'll get this part out of the way. The Creaturebeasts. And the more they do, the more I'm just going to name the fuckers. So Derby family confirmed that the top police officers and council official of sex offenders. I'm going to keep asking. I don't like this subject. Okay? I don't want to talk about it. It's bad enough having a fucking rapist who wants to do a stuff movie on you without talking about child rape and infant rape from the very people that's supposed to help society. And it's not a subject I want to touch on. But the more times it's fucking me, and I know, like I said previously, I can read the energy, and you'll be able to, if you're a original human, you'll know someone within seconds. I swear to God, the energy is so quick, you'll just pick up on what they're into, okay? There's more than average sex offenders on this targeting programme because they'll be given free rein. And it's not because they're being blackmailed, it's not because and I also mean sex offenders that have not been convicted of sex offenders. I'm talking about sex offenders like the fucking guy yesterday with the dog. No, I'm a child molester. You are a fucking beast, you twat. And he thinks because he looks like a human and is tall, that's a change for these beasts. So once I point him out as being an undercover police officer plus a fucking child abuser, that people go, no, he can't be a fucking child molester. Look at him, somebody might think he's lush. Can't see what I fucking see on it. But they are. There's always like a female, let's see. There's a female officers that are child molesters, an Asian woman that works that used to be called Costco's on the corner. She's a child molester. There was a white woman, 25-ish, same age as the Asian woman-ish, mid-20s, size 12 I'd say, size 10, size 12, I don't know, brown hair, undercover police officer, she was a child molester, plus another child molester I've named, and I keep saying, look, I tell you, we'll keep putting pressure, I keep saying, and they put more and more, because they know I can read them, with the energy. This is a distraction, all of this from Hobday, because Hobday was the very first police officer where I knew, and my family confirmed it, that is a child molester. And that picture of Hobday with Dave Thompson, that is not Chief Inspector Jamie Hobday. Okay, make it clear. That is not Chief Inspector Jamie Hobday. I have seen Chief Inspector Jamie Hobday because he's very much involved in my targeting, and he takes his turn in my targeting. He's very much involved, like Dave Thompson. So they put all these beasts away, knowing I can read them, okay? So I go, child molester, rapist, child molester, So people think I'm a bit crazy, I've got sort of loop-de-loop with the oversensitivity about everybody being a sex offender or child molester. That was their plan. But they didn't count on my family confirming that plan, did they? Knocking holes in it, not confirming the plan, knocking holes in their plan. And I wouldn't say if our family wasn't confirming it, if that could come in here next week and ask the family the same questions about the same people, and they will confirm it. And because these beasts don't stop, I could give you audio like I did yesterday. Or they just go child molester, so you child molester, that's their thing. If they don't fantasise, so you hear them fantasise about raping an infant or a child, they'll just say child molester because they know it's a head fuck. Okay, and you know, anybody involved in this programme, if they're going to say to you, oh, I didn't know, they're fucking lying. Everybody, all the perps, I say, pretend they've got two fingers up there, all the perps, that are involved in the targeting programme know that child molestation, infant rape and adult rape is at the core of it. Okay, they didn't know when